All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain and trace the hidden journey of a single trade. We're going to follow it from that simple click on your screen all the way through the incredibly complex, behind-the-scenes machinery that makes it all happen. You know, it feels so instant, doesn't it? You tap a button on your phone and boom, you own a tiny piece of a company. But behind that one simple action, there's this amazingly detailed and precise sequence of events. It's not magic, believe me, it's a process.
And yeah, that process has a name, the trade life cycle. It's the official term for the entire journey, every single step, from that first flicker of an idea in an investor's mind to the final moment when the money and the stock officially change hands.
Now, to make sense of this whole thing, we can break the journey down into a simple 3-act story. First, you've got the deal being made in what's called the front office. Second, all the details get checked and double-checked by the middle office. And finally, the actual swap happens in the back office. So, let's follow a trade through each of these stages.
So our story kicks off in the front office. This is that fast-paced, high-energy world where the decision to buy or sell is actually born, and the deal is first struck.
Every trade, of course, needs two sides. So let's meet our players. Over on the left, we've got Investor A, and they want to buy shares in Facebook. And on the right, you have Investor B, who wants to sell those exact same shares. Their goals are complete opposites, and the market is the place where they're going to meet.
So, how does this idea become a reality? Well, first, Investor A initiates the trade, just by making the decision. Simple enough. Then they place the order with their broker. That's the official instruction to get this done. And finally, the broker kicks off the trade's execution, which is basically them scouring the market to find a seller just like Investor B. And we have a match. The deal is struck. Investor A has now officially agreed to buy 10,000 shares from Investor B. So the front office, their job is done. But you know what? This handshake agreement is really just the beginning of the journey.
Right? So with the deal agreed upon, the trade now enters the world of the middle office. This is like the nerve center, the quality control team that makes sure the deal is absolutely perfect and ready for that final handover.
You know, the best way to think about the middle office is to imagine the logistics team for a really complex online order. Before anything gets shipped, they are going to triple-check everything. The product, the price, the shipping address, it all has to be perfect. Any mistake here, and the whole deal could just fall apart.
This whole process is called trade enrichment. What the middle office does is take the what of the trade, all the economic details you see there on the left. That's the ISIN, which is like a unique ID for the stock, plus the quantity and the price. Then, they merge it with the where. That's the static data, or what we call standard settlement instructions on the right. Seriously, just think of these as the crucial shipping addresses, the exact account numbers for where the cash has to go and where the stock needs to be delivered.
Okay, so with all this information now merged into one file, the system runs a super critical validation. This is the moment of truth. Does everything actually line up?
And yes, the answer is yes. The data is consistent, all the codes are correct, the details make sense, the trade is now officially verified, and it's ready for the next step.
But the cross-checking is not over yet, not by a long shot. Next up is confirmation, where the two trading parties electronically agree with each other on the details. That's followed by affirmation, where a trusted third party, like a bank or a custodian, also gives the thumbs up on their behalf. And finally, the trade gets reported to financial regulators for transparency.
And that, my friends, brings us to our final act, the back office. All the agreements have been made, all the details are confirmed, now it's time for the assets to actually move. So the back office is basically the fulfillment center. They are responsible for the final settlement. Their entire job is to make absolutely sure that Investor A's $250,000 and Investor B's 10,000 shares end up in exactly the right hands.
Before this final, totally irreversible exchange happens, there's one last check. The back offices for both the buyer and the seller get in touch and they compare every single detail one final time to make sure they are in perfect agreement.
And the result? A perfect match. Every single detail is aligned. The system is now locked and loaded for the final exchange of assets.
So this is it, the climax, settlement. Now to manage all the risk, this doesn't happen directly between the two parties. Instead, a central clearinghouse acts as this trusted middleman. It simultaneously takes the cash from Investor A and the shares from Investor B, and then it swaps them.
This makes sure nobody is left empty-handed. Immediately after that, in post-settlement, the final records are updated. Investor A's account shows the new shares, Investor B's account shows the cash. The trade is officially complete.
So, let's do a quick recap of the entire journey we just saw, from a simple decision all the way to a completely settled transaction.
And here it is, the whole flow in one simple picture. The front office makes the deal, the middle office checks all the details, and the back office finalizes the exchange. It's this carefully choreographed dance, really, designed to make sure every single trade is accurate and secure.
So this very methodical, step-by-step process is the bedrock of trust in our financial markets. But it does leave us with a really fascinating question. In our modern world, where we demand instant results for everything, what are the risks of trying to speed this up? What happens if one of those critical checks fails? Now that is something to think about. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.